last week. It said the seized weapons included 4 Javelin anti-tank missiles packed in wooden crates marked Armed Forces of the United Arab Emirates. In a letter to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Senator Robert Menendez of New Jersey, the top Democrat on the Foreign Relations Committee, voiced deep concern about the reports and said if the Emirates transferred the weapons, it would be a serious violation of U.S. law. Haftar's forces have been unsuccessful in seeking to capture Tripoli from the government of national accord in an offensive that began in April. Libya has remained beset by turmoil since 2011, when a bloody NATO-backed uprising led to the ouster and death of long-serving President Muammar Gaddafi, after more than 4 decades in power. On Wednesday, people all over the world celebrated WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange's birthday and freedom of the press with the #CandlesForJulian campaign. But one group of people, the Catalans, are also marching in a hunger strike, celebrating their independence and fighting for the freedom of their own politically imprisoned comrades. Activist Post reports that WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been imprisoned for months in Belmarsh prison, pending a hearing on extradition to the United States. Ironically, when Assange was holed up inside the Ecuadorian embassy prior to his arrest, his internet was taken away for criticizing the treatment of the Catalan people and daring to tell the tale of their revolutionary referendum from Spain in 2017, when Spain responded by invoking Article 155 of the Constitution, which suspended Catalonia's autonomy. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Police in Lehman, Michigan describe a local student's recently foiled plans to commit a deadly school shooting as, quote, embarrassingly bad. Authorities apprehended 17-year-old Trent Bayer Thursday after finding him in an empty hallway struggling to load a pathetically small-caliber pistol while simultaneously attempting to unfold an inaccurate map of the school. Lehman Police Chief Ethan Holman elaborated several ways Bayer's strategy could have been more effective, including setting off a homemade explosive in the teacher's lounge, executing popular students first, and at the very least purchasing some military fatigues.
You're not going to intimidate anyone by wearing a tucked-in button-down shirt and pleated trousers.
In other news, a jar of change on a dresser is sadly factoring into a number of financial decisions. A teen zebra doesn't give a shit how much you honk, it's not getting out of the road. And Dad's new 20-year-old Thai boyfriend really sucks at categories. And don't forget to never ever drink Pepsi Cola, whose dipshit marketing team backed out of a full-page ad buy at the last minute. For more news, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450. Free is in freedom. Kind of expecting some music here from Genesis Communications Network, and I'm not hearing anything. But,
well, if you want to look around and stuff, I guess Angie and I will talk a little bit.
Yeah, we can do that.
We got some show prep in the queue here. It sounds like the cops are having a tough time recruiting new cops. I guess people just don't want to be authoritarians. I mean, I know I don't want to be a cop. I can't imagine why anybody wants to even participate in a parasite sector of our economy.
What would make you want to be a cop with all this people hating on them?
Well, that's kind of the issue, actually. Yeah. Let's just start off here. I think they can hear me. It was just some kind of board malfunction, so we'll just move forward as though we're professional broadcasters, and we'll go to the interview that I have set up here.
Perfect.
But thanks for teasing some of our show prep. Thanks, guys. I've got Nick Sarwark, who is the chairman of the Libertarian Party, on, and he and I and Ian will soon be at the Freedom Fest at freedomfest.com/FTL. Nick, you there?
I am here.
You sound great. And coming to us from Arizona?
Phoenix, Arizona, yep.
Excellent. And for one, I wanted to give you an opportunity to promote some of the things you're talking about. What are you talking about at Freedom Fest?
I believe I'm participating in a couple panels, mostly focused on the future of libertarianism and the liberty movement, and where do we go from here? Where does the party go from here? Those are the areas that I expect to be talking about mostly.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of what I want to talk about is the Libertarian Party holds this sort of unenviable position of being all that is libertarianism, but nothing, little that is libertarianism all at once. Like, you guys get blamed for everything and credit for so little.
Yeah, it's a very interesting game people play. We are the only political machine within the broader liberty movement and being in that role makes it very easy for other parts of the movement that have eschewed politics and decided that it's all a rigged game and there's no point in participating. They find it very easy to throw rocks while insisting that, of course, they would never even participate in such a lowly effort as going out and convincing voters that libertarian ideas and libertarian solutions would be the best way to run our society and improve our communities.
What, do you think it's possible that the system's rigged and Donald Trump still wins? I mean, whoever's rigging the system seems like they messed up.
It's possible. One of the things that I learned early on was not to ascribe to malice that which can be attributed to incompetence. And having worked in the past for government agencies as a contractor early in my career, and seen some government agencies from the inside in my time as a public defender, the conspiratorial mind where governments are full of masters of the universe pulling all the puppet strings and making things happen, it's hard to hold that view if you've ever met the people who work in government.
Right. I mean, and so many of them, they're just us. They in many cases, they're us with a job that they don't particularly like. In many cases, they're not passionate about what they're doing. So chances are they're not chasing down every little rabbit hole and trying to do those sorts of things. And many of them believe very thoroughly in the democratic system that we have.
I've noticed a lot of the low-level governmental employees tend to be these kind of folks that, can't hack it in a real world, so they go work in a public school or something and teach some kind of like psychology. The high school psychologists, the joke was, they just can't hack it in the real world. That's why they're, teaching it in school. But a lot of the guys I've known that in the hometown I grew up in, all the guys that work for the DPW wouldn't last 5 seconds on a private paving crew or working for some private construction company because, they just kind of stand around and watch each other work is like the classic thing.
Yeah, it depends. I think it depends a lot on the agency and the level. But there are jobs that are available with the government that are easier to get or easier to keep than some jobs in the private sector. There's exceptions to that rule. There are some jobs in the government that are
very
more
hard to
competitive than private sector jobs, and they tend to attract, they attract competitive people. So I guess it's hard to paint with a broad brush, but the idea that somehow the government could be responsible for massive undertakings, like, for example, bringing down 2 towers in New York in 2001,
3,
and keep that 2.5, and keep that entirely under wraps and secret and not let any of it get out is just it's mind-bogglingly foolish. Just as a matter of practicality, not so much. You don't have to get down into the minutia of these various concocted theories. You just have to know that certain sizes of groups can't keep secrets.
I would agree with you that large groups have a difficult time keeping secrets. As to what happened on 9/11, it is a tar pit out of which...
Yeah, I'm not saying we should get into it.
I do not wish to bathe in. But, nonetheless, there are people who still feel very passionately about that event many, many long years ago. So what is the Libertarian Party doing right now to make the world a freer place? One thing I can say about the Libertarian Party that I love is that y'all go out there and work really, really hard to make sure that I have a presidential candidate for whom to vote that is less distasteful than the rest.
Yeah, and it's we are definitely working hard to make sure that the party is in a good place to have a successful nominating convention next May. There are a number of candidates already seeking the nomination. I think we're up to 7 who are official. There are 3 to 4 more who are either considering it or just haven't officially announced yet. And then there's probably another 5 to 10 who people are speculating about or talking about or,
No, they're just pretending.
wishing will run. And so I think what we're doing now is not as visible, but we're building up infrastructure across all 50 states. We're working to get ballot access so that every single American will have a libertarian on their ballot for president. And we're electing state and local people all around the country in 2019. There's a lot of municipal elections. There are a few states that are doing legislative races. There are special elections. One of the things that I think a lot of people don't understand about the Libertarian Party is we have active affiliates in all 50 states. We have people running for office that are local to you that can improve your community, improve your town, improve your county, improve your state. And that doesn't get as much attention, but it's as important, if not more important, than the top of the ticket every 4 years.
Yeah, one of the things that I noticed here in New Hampshire, if a minor party is the terminology I've been told is the best to use. If a minor party wants ballot access, they have to get X percentage, and I think it's like 3 or 5% of the votes in 3 different elections, and that's either governor, it's state rep. That's like a rep going to Washington, D.C., or senator. That's a senator going to Washington, D.C., and none of those people is a presidential candidate, right? So if you want to see ballot access, at least in New Hampshire, I can't tell you what it's like in every other state, and I imagine the answer is different in every state. But if you want it there, voting for the presidential candidate is just icing on the cake. It doesn't do anything for the ballot access.
It does depend state by state. Gary Johnson's performance in 2016 got us ballot access in a number of states where president is actually the metric that they use to determine whether or not we're allowed to put our candidates up. But New Hampshire, for whatever reason, I think, possibly because of the first in the nation thing, possibly just to maintain some level of localism, chose different offices for that. And that's what speaks to the importance that we do run a presidential candidate, that the New Hampshire party does run governor or senator or congressperson or potentially all 3.
Nick, will you hold the line here for just 1 second?
Yep.
Yeah, hold the line. We're going to be back here with Nick Sarwark, chairman of the Libertarian Party of the United States. And if you want to see us at Freedom Fest, go to freedomfest.com/FTL. That's freedomfest.com/FTL. You can get your tickets there and see some of the speeches from last year's Freedom Fest, the largest gathering of libertarians in the world.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. It is the live version of Free Talk Live. You can call in if it's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We're here live taking your calls. It's Mark with you.
Jay.
And Angie.
855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. We can potentially take your calls for Nick Sarwark if that's what you would like to do. Please keep it to that right now, 855-450-3733, or you can use the Discord chats at discord.freetalklive.com. Before that, though, I want to tell you about American Financing. American Financing is a family-owned mortgage banker, and they've been helping people for 20 years. What makes them different, and one of the reasons that they have an A-plus rating and from the Better Business Bureau and 3,200 Google reviews is that they never charge an upfront fee. And another one of the reasons is that they don't have commission-based mortgage brokers. They have salary-based mortgage consultants, and they're available for you right now. All you have to do is give them a call. I'll give you the number here in just one moment. Or you can go to the website. Actually, they do digital mortgages where you can apply, receive your pre-qualification, and close your loan doing everything online. You can complete the mortgage process on your schedule anytime, anywhere. It's at AmericanFinancing.net. If you're looking to refinance your home, if you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking for a second opinion, you really need a second opinion, by the way, especially if you're getting the opinion of a mortgage broker who gets commissions on your loan. Whether you've got to get rid of do some debt consolidation, or you're thinking about retirement. It's AmericanFinancing.net. The telephone number is 888-804-0303. 888-804-0303. AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Going back to Nick Sarwark, the chair of the Libertarian Party. Nick, are you there?
Yep, still here.
Just making sure I got the good audio here. We were talking about the Libertarian Party's role in sort of national politics and that sort of thing. But Angie, you had a question for Nick first.
I did. Hi, Nick. I am not sure exactly what the chairman of the Libertarian Party does. Can you tell me what you do?
Justify your job, Nick.
I am, according to our bylaws, I'm the chief executive officer of the entire national committee. So the Libertarian National Committee is the official organization, similar to there's a couple other national committees. One starts with R, one starts with D.
Right.
Both of them suck. But what I do is I chair the conventions. I chair the meetings of the Libertarian National Committee, which has 17 voting members, including some alternates according to the bylaws. I am the party's spokesperson when there are media interviews or requests. I've probably talked to about 5 or 6 different reporters this week, and I do a lot of fundraising. That's kind of money makes politics work, and other.
And you show up to a lot of events. You show up to a lot of events too.
I do. I do a lot of speeches, both at state Libertarian Party conventions around the country, as well as events like Freedom Fest or Pork Fest in New Hampshire, where I was just a couple weeks back, doing a ticketed debate with Dave Smith, who was a podcaster down in New York City in September.
I'm not familiar with him. What? I know you were at Man Camp at Pork Fest, right?
Yeah, he was there.
I swung by.
I was impressed with you, Nick. There was a couple of kids working on a project, and you just kind of like jumped in. You grabbed a bandsaw. You're just doing stuff. You and Ernie, I think, might have been making a knife together in a forge or something. But you seemed like you knew your way around tools, anyways, and how to use them. And I did appreciate that you helped out a couple of the kids, showing them how to use a portable bandsaw and stuff. That was pretty cool of you.
Yeah, I try to be helpful where I can. When that one kid was trying to deburr something and got his belt ripped, I wanted to make sure that he didn't, have it detach on that sander.
Yeah, we had a belt sander set up.
Woodworking, not as much metalworking as I'd like, but hopefully I'll learn more in the future. I think it's important for those of us, especially that work with words and paper and electronic stuff, to do things with our hands to maintain that aspect of who we are as people.
So I do want to get back to the words a little bit. The Libertarian Party has this, it has to span this large group of people, and it is not the easiest thing. So, for instance, in the relatively recent past, there have been 2 presidential candidates that were formerly office-holding Republicans. And there's a lot of libertarians that don't like that much at all. What do you think about that?
How many of them are in the Libertarian Party?
Some, and some have left as a result. I mean, all I can do is talk about the ones that I've met. I don't want to, I don't know.
So the nature of being the only political vehicle in the broader libertarian movement is that it's very easy for people who don't want to do anything political to tell you after the fact what you should have done,
Sure.
what you did wrong. The way the Libertarian Party works, it's not a matter of me as chairman deciding who we're going to run for president, vice
Absolutely
president,
not.
or any other office. It's the delegates at convention who are chosen from state party affiliates all around the country, who are longtime party activists, and they vote who they want to nominate. And in 2016, they chose Gary Johnson and Bill Weld, 2 former governors, and we got 3 times as many votes as the previous record in the party's entire history. We got 3 times as much money was raised by the campaign. I think the 2016 campaign raised about $12 million as opposed to something around $4 million in 2012. We reached a lot more Americans. We actually covered the spread between the winner of the 2016 presidential election and the loser. And so I think the delegates have been making some good choices. But there's always going to be people who say, well, that's not the choice I would have made. But I found most of them were not at the convention in Orlando in 2016. Most of them are not active in their state party. They didn't try to become delegates, or, they present their argument in the form of, I would never join your party because of X. You should do Y in the future if you want me to join. And that's not an argument that's that persuasive.
Do you think that the path to victory for the Libertarian Party is sort of taking some of these more liberty-minded Republicans that are out there? I mean, I don't know, like Gary Johnson and Bob Barr?
I don't know. Obviously, Bob Barr didn't go as well as Gary Johnson did, right? So there's something about either the optics of that race or what kind of person or politician they are, what their values are. Every convention, whether it's at the state level or the national level, requires the delegates to balance between message and messenger.
Indeed it does. Nick, if you'll just hold for a minute here.
Okay.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live, here on this live edition. Call in now, 855-450-FREE.
Are you dealing with overwhelming credit card debt? Then it's time to get rid of it with a mortgage refinance from American Financing. You'll work with a salary-based mortgage consultant, so there's no pressure and no commission. No upfront fees either. I recommend American Financing because they continue to help customers save $1,000 or more each month without resetting their loan term. You may even be able to postpone up to 2 months of mortgage payments, creating an even greater upfront savings. Not a homeowner yet? Mortgage rates have been falling for the last few months, making it a great time to buy. Get started now by calling 888-804-0303. That's 888-804-0303. Or try their new digital mortgage at AmericanFinancing.net. You can download an instant pre-qualified letter, and you can complete the entire mortgage process online anytime, anywhere. 888-804-0303 or AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Jay.
And Angie.
The number's 855-450-3733. We're talking right now to Nick Sarwark, who is the chairman of the Libertarian Party. And yeah, it's been an interesting conversation so far. We've talked about sort of the Libertarian Party, where it fits in, that sort of thing. Some of the difficulties of being the chairman of. Well, that's the next question I have is one that I'm going to ask here shortly. But first, I want to talk about Freedom's Phoenix. Freedom's Phoenix is a liberty-oriented news aggregation site. And if you want the newest and freshest stories and perspectives on current events from those that value liberty, freedomsphoenix.com has it. Their daily dispatch is the best way to stay up to date on science, technology, historical findings, liberty news, government overspending, and the rise of the police state. Freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. It's freedomsphoenix.com. We'll go back to Nick Sarwark. Nick, you there?
I'm still here.
Excellent. So I want to ask the question is, do you think that the Libertarian Party is more divided than the Republicans and Democrats? Because they're pretty divided parties. I just don't know. As libertarians, this group of individualists, maybe it's more difficult, maybe it's less. I don't know the answer.
I found that the Libertarian Party is actually we're very cohesive. That within the party, within the people who actually do the work and run for office and raise the money and, engage in politics, there's not that much that we disagree on internally. Most party members got behind the nominee for president in 2016. Most party members got behind the nominee in 2012. Frankly, most party members got behind the nominee in 2008, although, some people chose to spend more time working on local campaigns that they were more excited about. And that's always a good option for people. If, one of the things that I try to advise activists to do is if you're not happy with a candidate for an office, rather than spend your time talking about how that candidate is bad or trying to tear them down, find some other positive outlet for your energy. Go find some other candidate you're more excited about to work for. Find some activist activity that's going to bring more freedom to your community. Put your energy there into fighting back against the cult of the omnipotent state, rather than putting your energy into, playing king of the hill with your fellow libertarians.
So, I think it's pretty clear that you and the committee really don't have any say over who gets to be the next nominee, but can you give us some idea who they might be? Who are these people that have put in their applications at this point?
So the people that are announced, and I'm probably going to forget some, and I'm sure that their supporters will let you know. Adam Kokesh.
Mark at freetalklive.com. Feel free.
Adam Kokesh has announced that he's going to be seeking the nomination.
Yeah.
Arvin Vohra has announced that he's seeking the nomination.
Another controversial figure.
Kim Ruff has announced that she's seeking the nomination.
Nice to have a lady in there.
Ben Leader from Texas.
What was that name?
Ben Leader, L-E-D-E-R. Vermin Supreme from from Massachusetts.
But he's up here enough.
Yeah, he does cross the border. You guys don't have a big enough wall yet.
No, did you get a chance to meet Vermin Supreme at the Porcupine Freedom Festival here recently?
I did, and I got to attend part of his rally, and I thought it was pretty energetic. He's actually a pretty smart dude if you get a chance to talk to him, especially if you can talk to him while he's not in character.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a brilliant man, actually, a performance artist, and does a fascinating work. I must say.
Yeah, there's so Ben Leader, Vermin Supreme. I think there's a guy named Chris from the Midwest whose last name escapes me at this point, who just recently got into it.
What about John McAfee? I know that he's got he's intimated.
I think he's announced. Although he is currently in Cuba, and seems to have some good legal reasons to not come back to the U.S.
Okay.
So we'll see whether or not he can win a nomination.
Hard to run a campaign from a communist country. All right.
It's tricky. And, what this all comes down to with all of these candidates, along with the ones who have not announced yet, but who are kind of thinking about putting their hat in the ring, is you don't have to convince me. You have to convince libertarian delegates. And they're amazingly discerning people. These are people who've put years, if not decades, of their time and money and effort into trying to get libertarians elected to public office. And what I find is that the delegates at convention set aside a lot of these ideological differences, right? The pro-life people and the pro-choice people put down their swords. What kind of libertarian are you? I'm a better libertarian than you. Sure. All of that gets set aside at convention, where the delegates are looking at a candidate for, are they able to raise enough money? Are they well-spoken? Is there something off-putting about them in their record or, in the way that they talk to people that's going to make voters not be interested in hearing the message that we're trying to deliver? And then they also look at, how close to the National Party's platform is this particular candidate? I've seen candidates get nominated where they disagree on 1 or 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4 or 5 issues. But that's what the delegates are balancing, is you can't have somebody who embodies everything you believe as a candidate unless you step up and run yourself.
That's the truth. And I mean, ultimately, if you care a great deal as to who the nominee is for the Libertarian Party, you should get involved in the Libertarian Party, go to the national convention and vote on who's going to be the winner there. I mean,
absolutely.
Really?
How do you do that?
/join.
How do you do that?
Becoming a delegate in the Libertarian Party.
So becoming a delegate in the Libertarian Party, the first step is you probably want to join the National Party as a dues-paying member. It's only $25 a year, although we're happy to accept more, up to around, I think, $35,000 is our limit, according to the federal government now. You join the party, that's a good idea, but the delegates to convention are chosen at the state party conventions that are held either in the fall prior to the election year or in the spring in advance of the national convention. So if you wanted to be a delegate from New Hampshire, you would go to the New Hampshire convention, follow their rules, and seek one of the delegate seats that state party is allotted. Same with Massachusetts or Texas or wherever. It all comes down to, a lot of local control. And that's what, I think makes our national organization is kept a lot more honest and above board than some of the old parties, because we don't really have a lot of centralized power.
And so that's join.lp.org?
lp.org/join.
lp.org/join. So what are you looking for most at Freedom Fest this year?
What I go to Freedom Fest for nowadays, because the mix of speakers, some of them are very conservative and kind of anti-libertarian, and so I try not to spend too much time listening to them.
There's plenty of people to listen to. Like more,
there are
a couple 100 speakers.
Yeah, it's a free-for-all. I go more for the networking kind of around the panels and the events. Lunches and dinners and catching drinks or grabbing coffee with Libertarian Party supporters, people who may have not supported the Libertarian Party yet, but are open to the idea. I take those opportunities to have those conversations, explain to people what the value would be of supporting the Libertarian Party, and hopefully being successful in it, so that we have more resources to go out and recruit, train, and elect candidates around the country.
Nick Sarwark, thank you for visiting with us here on Free Talk Live. freedomfest.com/FTL is where you can go get your tickets to join Nick Sarwark and Free Talk Live at Freedom Fest. Use coupon code FTL50 and you will save $50 off your ticket. It's freedomfest.com/FTL. You can get the 5 most popular speeches from last year there for free to test it out, and then get your tickets. freedomfest.com/FTL. FTL50 coupon code.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Finally, there's a way for you to get into the blockchain, the hottest financial sector without all the speculation. Now, enjoy a 27% annualized payment each month without the ups and downs of Bitcoin. Seen on programs broadcast on Fox Business News, blockchain data centers offer an equipment leasing program in the explosive digital asset marketplace. Inspired by entrepreneurs who sold picks and shovels during the gold rush, the money is in the mining equipment used to manufacture dozens of critical digital assets. Not a security, IPO, or note, blockchain data centers have a proven turnkey equipment sale leaseback program with a 27% annualized lease payment deposited into your bank account each month. Don't miss this one. Stake your claim today. Call 800-600-3388. That's 800-600-3388. These valuable lease contracts won't last long. Call now. 800-600-3388. 800-600-3388. Equipment offer poses a financial risk to owners. Consult with financial professionals before purchasing. Not an offer to buy or sell a security which requires an offering document.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. Come on and call in here. Talk about whatever's on your mind. The number is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE. As in freedom, it's Mark with you.
Jay.
And Angie.
We just let Nick Sarwark, the chairman of the Libertarian Party of the United States, we just let him go, had him on there for a few segments, talking to him about the Libertarian Party and what his thoughts were. Because, well, I can give my thoughts all day long. They're not his. And I find his more important because he's involved in it and that sort of thing. If you want to hear the archives of that, or frankly, anything ever, go to archives.freetalklive.com. It's free. I know. All those other talk show hosts out there, they all charge you for archives and that sort of thing. Not Free Talk Live. We give you the whole show for free. All you have to do is go to archives.freetalklive.com. On there, you'll have to pick the month and the year that you're looking for, but it comes up to the most recent one automatically, so that should be relatively easy to find. If you can't spell Sarwark, join the club. Use Google. Yeah, I want to talk to you about this article, Angie, that you brought in.
I did. It was from theblaze.com, and it talks about how Amazon admits to listening in on and analyzing private conversations and intimate moments through Alexa.
Oh, my.
Now,
they wouldn't do that.
Of course not. Do you guys have an Alexa in your home?
I don't, but I have something that might as well be an Alexa.
What is that?
That is a cell phone. It has a microphone on it, and it's connected at all times to the internet.
Yep.
And if I want to speak to the cell phone, I can say, okay, Google, and it will be off to the races looking for things. So it's easy to be sanctimonious about Alexa, but we're all carrying Alexa around with us.
And years ago, it was when I was in Colorado, this news broke. I think I heard it actually on Free Talk Live. What's the OnStar, General Motors?
Oh, yeah.
And what had happened is some of the OnStar employees basically attempted blackmailing some wealthy fella who had a prostitute in his car and a conversation and the whole 9 yards, and basically they like played it back to him, and what had happened, he's like, oh, he just called some of his friends that who had friends, and these dudes got canned, and then OnStar was this came out months later. It was leaked out that they actually were like doing this, and then they admitted it too. But
well, that's one thing that I really think is important about this sort of listening in on our private lives thing. If they listen to my life, they're gonna be like, "This is boring." But for one, they can write algorithms that listen a little better. And pull out the exciting stuff. I don't know, whenever I say bomb or cheesecake or whatever it is that I might say that might be interesting to these people that would want to know. But the idea that it's not whether my life is interesting or not. It's whether or not the lives of judges, politicians, captains of industry, these kind of people, their lives are probably more interesting than mine is. Just bopping around my underpants at my house. So if they can catch somebody with a prostitute who can't get it undone, then what? Well, maybe they've got somebody under their thumb that will vote in a key situation the way they want them to. It doesn't take much for a company like Amazon to then get in control of government more than they are already.
Oh, for sure.
And believe me, Amazon has more control over government than you do.
Oh, absolutely. They're big-time lobbyists, I'm sure. It's like all the other big companies.
They didn't want states to collect income tax on products for a long time. then they change their minds because they realize, well, I don't know why they changed their minds, but they changed their minds. Maybe they realized that other online companies would have a more difficult time complying with the regulation as far as collecting taxes for 50 different states and actually different municipalities too, because I know in Florida the sales tax varies from county to county. So your address, it makes a difference what county you're in. And I couldn't even tell you how many counties there are in the United States, but I'd be willing to guess it's somewhere in the neighborhood of tens of thousands, more than 10,000, 5 figures. So, I mean, did compliance kill off some smaller retails? I'd be willing to bet it did.
Well, this is the same thing like the Purdue, the chicken growers and, producers did 20, 30 years ago is introduce all this poultry slaughterhouse legislation, and it put all the mom and pop, actually 40, 50 years ago this was done, put all the mom and pop little butcher shops that were all over, any town in America, literally out of business because, they just couldn't comply. And these big corporations, they can borrow nearly interest-free money to comply, because they're first in line when it comes to the fractional reserve, creating of money. And then they, and if they can't pay the money back because they are corporations, and we live in what I like to call corporate socialism, where the profits are privatized and the losses are
made public,
socialized amongst the taxpayer. And the only way we can fight that is just stop being taxpayers. But anyways, it's the same old thing. So of course Amazon's gonna even if it costs them millions and millions of dollars, it's no big deal to them, but it's gonna just put little guys
right. You'll pay for it.
Yep.
Amazon has admitted to employing thousands of people worldwide who are tasked with listening in on private conversations through its Echo line of speakers using the Alexa digital assistant, and the workers are revealing what they've heard. What are the details? Bloomberg reported that Amazon has teams of folks around the world tasked with transcribing records pulled from Echo customers' homes and offices. In one shift, the analyst will listen to as many as 1,000 clips, which the firm says is municipal. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Considering the tens of millions of people who own these systems. A company spokeswoman explained, "We only annotate an extremely small sample of Alexa voice recordings in order to improve the customer experience."
Right, so they got people listening in to thousands of Alexa interactions in order to improve the experience.
And people are curious. And interested in interesting topics. So I'm sure when they hear something interesting and hot, they probably pay a little more attention to it.
I mean, I'm 100% sure that it isn't somebody who's a weirdo like me that they put on there, because I bet they have whole profiles on customers. Here's the customer profile. This is what you're listening to right now. It's somebody hot like Angie, and
well, they can't see you.
Well, I don't know that that's true.
If they
you don't think Amazon has some kind of
does the Alexa have a camera?
I'm sure that some Alexas have cameras and some don't, but I'll bet you there's some way for them. I'm just imagining that
Amazon owns a surveillance company that you product that you can set up in your home.
That's true. And I would think that these companies probably put together profiles on their customers, and I wouldn't doubt if a picture is in that profile.
That would make sense.
And maybe they're showing the people who are analyzing the audio the picture. Maybe they're not. I don't know what they're doing, but they're definitely catching people in interesting situations, if not compromising situations, right?
For sure.
If they catch you having sex with your husband or wife, big deal. It's your husband or wife, and there's nobody who's people are gonna be like, that is creepy. I can't believe you, would think somebody would care about that. But on the other hand, if it happens to be in the middle of the day and the milkman's over, I say the milkman because there probably isn't one anymore, or whatever the situation might be, then it suddenly gets much more interesting.
Yes. For example, this information helps us train our speech recognition and natural language understanding system, so Alexa can better understand your request and ensure the service works well for everyone. But the revelation confirms the fears of those who have warned against trading privacy for convenience. 2 Amazon workers speaking on the condition of anonymity told Bloomberg that users frequently ask Alexa questions like, "Do you work for the NSA?" or "Is someone listening to us?"
I imagine. That's probably one of the things that they pick up.
I every time I go in someone's house with an Alexa, do you work for the NSA? Does the NSA have a contract with Amazon? Does the government have contracts with Amazon? Is Amazon providing surveillance for the government? Are they providing surveillance equipment and people are like, shut up, stop asking a question.
Now
they
they're
start getting a little annoyed with me.
Right. Well, I imagine the answer to that is yes, over and over again, that the NSA probably does. Amazon supplies a lot of the back-end computing power for many websites around the world, certainly in the United States.
What else have they heard? The Daily Mail noted that concerns have been raised by some in the past that smart speaker systems could be used to listen in on user conversations, often with the aim of targeting users with advertising. But the analysts are hearing much more than just customers' interests. According to the Mail, Amazon workers have admitted to listening in on people singing in the shower, discussing bank account details, and conducting other intimate exchanges. Staffers have raised the alarm when overhearing distressing situations like a child calling out for help and instances where a sexual assault may have occurred.
Right, and who knows what's going on in some of these folks' houses and their proclivities, and God knows. The person listening in doesn't know what the safe word is. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom, here on Free Talk Live, or you could use the Discord lines at discord.freetalklive.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISSparis.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,418, silver at $15.30, and Bitcoin is trading at $11,209. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, U.S. President Donald Trump's decision to display tanks on the National Mall during the Independence Day festivities is causing a meltdown among his critics, who claim it's an authoritarian move worthy of North Korea or Russia. The Free Thought Project reports that as part of the Salute to America celebrations on the 4th of July, the U.S. Navy Blue Angels acrobatic group will fly over the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and there will be tanks stationed outside on the grounds. The event will culminate with the customary fireworks display. All of that is intended to show off what Trump calls, quote, the strongest and most advanced military anywhere in the world, end quote. A rail car with 2 M1A1 Abrams tanks, 2 Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, and what looked to be an M88A2 recovery vehicle are all part of the 64th Armored Regiment from Fort Stewart, Georgia, and have been spotted outside the Capitol on Tuesday. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A senior U.S. senator is demanding an investigation over reports that American-made weapons were found at a base of forces loyal to Khalifa Haftar, the East Libyan-based military commander. The anti-media reports the UN-recognized government of National Accord said its forces found the weapons at a base they captured from Haftar's militia in the strategic town of Quran, located south of the capital of Tripoli, last week. It said the seized weapons included 4 Javelin anti-tank missiles packed in wooden crates marked Armed Forces of the United Arab Emirates. In a letter to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Senator Robert Menendez of New Jersey, the top Democrat on the Foreign Relations Committee, voiced deep concern about the reports and said if the Emirates transferred the weapons, it would be a serious violation of U.S. law. Haftar's forces have been unsuccessful in seeking to capture Tripoli from the government of National Accord in an offensive that began in April. Libya has remained beset by turmoil since 2011, when a bloody NATO-backed uprising led to the ouster and death of long-serving President Muammar Gaddafi, after more than 4 decades in power. On Wednesday, people all over the world celebrated WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange's birthday and freedom of the press with the #CandlesForJulian campaign. But one group of people, the Catalans, are also marching in a hunger strike, celebrating their independence and fighting for the freedom of their own politically imprisoned comrades. Activist Post reports that WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been imprisoned for months in Belmarsh prison, pending a hearing on extradition to the United States. Ironically, when Assange was holed up inside the Ecuadorian embassy prior to his arrest, his internet was taken away for criticizing the treatment of the Catalan people and daring to tell the tale of their revolutionary referendum from Spain in 2017, when Spain responded by invoking Article 155 of the Constitution, which suspended Catalonia's autonomy. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
House of Representatives Bill 323, the IHOP should stay open all night so we can get some pancakes act. This bill was submitted for immediate review very late last night under the provisions of the National Emergency Legislation Act.
Can we dim the lights? It's really bright.
H.R. 323 would by federal order require all IHOP restaurants to, quote, remain open 24 hours effective right this minute, even if some manager has to get out of bed and drive down here to start making some pancakes.
Well, we stand by the bill.
Right. We wrote it, apparently.
This bill would also require the federal government pay to build a tram or monorail or whatever connecting the Black Sheep Pub on North Capitol Street to all IHOP restaurants.
I think
in the
we made
city.
some illustrations of
The bill
that.
gives the estimated cost of the tram as probably not even that much. You are wasting my time and the time of this committee.
I gotta go.
What? Congressman, this committee is still in session. You can't...
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Kicking off the second hour of this live edition of Free Talk Live. If it's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we are live for your calls 7 days a week. The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
Jay.
And Angie.
So, Angie, before we get back to the story that you've got about Amazon listening in to your most private moments, I'm going to go to the phones here real quick. We've got, I don't know how to say this, OF from New York calling in.
Hello?
Hello, what's on your mind?
Hello?
One more time, what's on your mind?
Hello?
Thanks for the call. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. If it looks like it's going to be a crank, I just have short patience for whatever the might be the tricks. I don't know. Maybe the guy couldn't hear, but
maybe that was the whole thing. He just wanted to say hello.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Hello.
Yeah, perfect.
All the best.
To continue and wrap up, it's only a matter of time, experts say, before law enforcement is granted access to listen in on what Alexis hears too.
Yeah, duh. I mean, pretty clear that law enforcement's going to be able to just all there has to do, high-profile murder, and they had an Alexa in their house.
All a cop would have to do, with most of your average American, go to an Amazon facility, show a badge, and I'm sure the cops know where these facilities are, where the people can access the information, and you just get some nitwit and be like, hey, show me, and they would probably, a lot of people would be more than happy to just...
hand it over.
Just hand it over, because there's so many people like don't even tell cops they can't enter their homes or they can't search their car. They just don't even realize they have the right to say no.
Well, I think first off, it's not like the law enforcement agencies don't know how to do this. They've done the formula is well placed for getting more and more ability to be intrusive in your life. They're very, very clear on this. So the same with cell phone tracking and all these sorts of things that have been used. In many cases, they've been used to track down people who are, brutal murderers or somebody who's abducted a child. Nobody says, well, they shouldn't have done that. I mean, right. the little 8-year-old girl gets returned to her parents, who's with tears streaming down their faces. No civil libertarian steps up and says, my God, you use cell phone tracking to find this little girl? Because, I mean, it'd be I wouldn't do it. When it comes to this, this young couple has been brutally murdered in their home, and their kids are lying in little bits across the floor, and we got to find out who did it. Well, they had an Alexa in the house.
Let's listen.
We went and got the audio, and we found out, the guy rattled off his driver's license number while he was chopping these people up. That's kind of his gig, and we found him right off. Great police work. Everybody give yourself a pat on the back. And then at that moment in time, they can listen for anything. It doesn't matter whether it's a big old bag of weed or whether you're smuggling, counterfeit nuts and bolts, whatever it is. They're on it, like flies on rice.
Security consultant Robert Graham told Gizmodo a few years ago it's likely that laws will be passed that will allow the police to remotely activate these devices and eavesdrop on suspects, pretty much as described in the book 1984.
That's pretty much the description of 1984.
Thought crime.
Yeah. I mean, it couldn't be more clear than that. The government, I guess there's a corporate intercessory in between the government, and you're not mandated to have these yet, but people are putting them in on their own. I mean,
yeah, they're embracing their own shackles. People are setting up their own home surveillance devices, and I think if you got a home surveillance device that's somehow tied to the internet one way or another, if you can look at it from your phone across town, as far as I'm concerned, anyone can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had an advertiser here on the air, Blink, and they, I can check my stuff right now at my house, and I imagine, even though it's behind some kind of wall or another where only I'm supposed to be able to get it, that they can get it, and if they can get it, then the government can get it.
Sure.
Now,
the NSA has probably got their own hard wire right into the Blink servers, and they're never going to admit that. But if it can be done, they're doing it. It's
you might as well presume
the way you have
that
to
they're
be
doing
about
it. And let's not forget, as I mentioned in the last segment, you've got a listening device that you carry around with you all the time, and there it is. It's picking up audio. It can do whatever it wants to with you. So, none of us are immune.
Do you
Few
think
of
that
us are
flip
immune.
phones can listen to, or just smartphones?
I'm sure.
I tend to think the smartphones are the bigger culprit.
Your landline home phone can listen to you. They perfected doing that 50 years ago. You don't even have to pick the thing up, and they can listen to you. They
That's
can listen to
crazy.
you from a satellite.
The flip phone would get pretty bad audio from the earpiece, but then again, it maybe has a speaker piece that it could hear. I don't know. Let's go to it's Dave in New York, and again, he's calling in apparently. Dave, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
What's on your mind, Dave?
Why is it that always friends always backstab you in the backyard? They say you're your friends, and then they go around and then they stab you right in the back. I hate my friends.
I don't know. I don't have that issue. I can't answer the question.
If people are stabbing you in the back, they're not your friends. Can you tell me what this backstabbing entails, Dave?
My friend, ex-friend, actually, TW out in Boston. See, I'm here in Poughkeepsie, right?
Yeah. How'd you get a friend in Boston?
What?
How'd you get a friend in Boston?
I've known him since many, many years ago. Anyway, to bring you up to speed, there is a cat freak who comes here every single night, and he's feeding cats. He's putting food behind the dumpsters, creating and it's insinuating to me, and I made videos about it, whatever. And then people are saying, oh, I should go out, and I recently took them down and shit, whatever. And
Whoa, Dave! Hey,
yeah,
National Radio, pal. Talk to you later. The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. You can call in about anything, but there's certain words you can't say on the radio.
So I got a little advice for you, Dave. If you are harassing and videotaping this wonderful lady or man that is feeding these poor cats that would, probably get mange and be real skinny and, fight, to death for food where you are, then you're seen as a cat hater. And cat haters, they get destroyed in social media.
Yeah.
If you're anti-cat, you're done. So that's probably the reason that your friend from Boston has stabbed you in the back, because everybody likes cats. This is why Ernie Hancock wants to do a catapult channel and put it on some kind of YouTube type service and see if it gets censored. Because if you got a channel of cats getting catapulted, the animal rights activists, the cat lovers, are going to freak out, and there's going to be tremendous pressure to pull it down. And if that video can stay on that particular server without getting pulled down. Now, Ernie does say he doesn't want to hurt cats, but he wants to Photoshop or try to do some creative video editing to looks like cats are being basically catapulted.
Yeah.
To see if the video stays.
I would agree with you that firing kittens out of air cannons or something would be one of the first things that's likely to get taken down.
That's
so
right.
If that can't be taken off of a site, then it probably isn't going to take anything down. However, I find the whole notion distasteful.
But Dave, maybe you could do a video about how these cats are overbreeding, and maybe you could do something to where you try to come up with donations and put together a thing where you get veterinarians to donate some time and people donate some money to get all these feral cats.
A spay and neuter
yep.
program will definitely get the attention of most people, and
then
everybody
you'll
will be
loved
on
again.
board. Yeah, and honestly, from when you're talking about sort of a generational standpoint, spaying and neutering is the same thing as putting the cats out of their misery, right? Because if they can't breed, then there's no more cats. So spay and neuter program, that's your answer, Dave. I think you're right, Jay. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450. Free as in Free Talk Live. Everybody loves a good pet spay and neutering story. I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com. Are you concerned that the values that made America great are no longer taught in schools? Well, I am, so I got my son the Tuttle Twins children's book series.
My name is Jack, and I'm 11, and I just finished the Tuttle Twins series. It taught me about liberty, free market economics, and entrepreneurship.
Give all the young people in your life a chance at reason and clear thought, because they're not going to get it at school. There are 9 books in the series, and each one teaches a set of ideas that children aren't getting elsewhere. Go to TuttleTwins.com and use coupon code FTL to get 40% off. That's TuttleTwins.com. Are you dealing with overwhelming credit card debt? Then it's time to get rid of it with a mortgage refinance from American Financing. You'll work with a salary-based mortgage consultant, so there's no pressure and no commission. No upfront fees either. I recommend American Financing because they continue to help customers save $1,000 or more each month without resetting their loan term. You may even be able to postpone up to 2 months of mortgage payments, creating an even greater upfront savings. Not a homeowner yet? Mortgage rates have been falling for the last few months, making it a great time to buy. Get started now by calling 888-804-0303. That's 888-804-0303. Or try their new digital mortgage at AmericanFinancing.net. You can download an instant pre-qualified letter, and you can complete the entire mortgage process online anytime, anywhere. 888-804-0303 or AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Jay.
And Angie.
The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450. Free here on Free Talk Live. So, let's go to the phones here shortly. But first, I want to tell you about Bitcoin.com. If you've been watching the crypto markets, you're probably pretty happy with what's going on, or you're unhappy that you didn't get in. So, Bitcoin.com, why don't you go check it out? It's the best source for news in the crypto sphere, in my opinion, or one of the best sources. They have their own news staff as opposed to many of these organizations are just reprinting things that are out there, including Bitcoin.com's content. So go to Bitcoin.com for your news. You can go there. You can get a wallet. You can get some free crypto. You can get... I think their free crypto basically comes one time. It's to put a little something in the wallet you've downloaded. You have to use Bitcoin.com's wallet in order to get there to use their faucet. But nonetheless, they have a few cents that they'll throw at you. You can buy crypto there at Bitcoin.com. As a matter of fact, they've just rolled out the new local.bitcoin.com, which allows you to buy, sell, trade with people in your community. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. A global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading. It's Bitcoin Cash there because that's what they specialize in. Local.bitcoin.com. It's local.bitcoin.com. Let's go to Billy calling in from New York. Billy, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, I have a question that's been kind of like, I've been pondering it, but I've been too, and I don't want to say this, but too lazy to research it kind of. But
all right.
So I'll cut to the chase. I went to gas technician school in Wisconsin, and we were talking about specific gravities of gases, stuff like that. And
okay.
It's always compared to specific gravity of air. So methane or natural gas is lighter than air. It'll naturally go up into the atmosphere, and say butane or whatever, propane is heavier, and it sinks to the ground.
Yes.
So I asked my teacher what the specific gravity of CO2 was because I was curious as to the greenhouse effect and all that stuff. And it turns out it's heavier than air, so it stays
that is correct.
Closer to the ground.
Interesting.
So I was just wondering, I know on the left they say that it's ruining the atmosphere and stuff. Is it their understanding, or is it their argument that it rides stuff into the atmosphere and blocking? Because I would think that the plant, would just naturally feed on all of that CO2 and create more oxygen.
One thing that I have seen is that plant life does tend to rise when there's a higher concentration of CO2. I have heard that the people on the other side. I am no scientist, mind you, especially not a climate scientist, and I've tried to listen with an open ear to both sides of the debate. I tend to err on the side of scientists when they tell me things because, well, I'm not that thing that they're talking about. I'm a talk show host. You should listen to me on how to get your show nationally syndicated or something like that, not something like carbon dioxide. But I had not heard about the specific gravity claim, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to research that because I have no opinion about specific gravity of carbon dioxide. That's new information for me. I presume that when they talk about greenhouse gases, that they're talking about them accurately. However, I also understand that just about every prediction that's ever been made regarding global warming and climate change has been overstated and been found to be untrue. So I don't know how to approach it exactly.
And the problem is a lot of science we can't trust these days because the science is bought. Like a lot of this climate change science, has flipped, and also when the sugar industry, was able to buy some anti-fat science from Harvard back in the 70s or the 60s or something. There was a lot on that. But I can tell you with CO2, because I buy CO2 in big steel cylinders, and I use it as a welding gas. And I have another friend, he makes some beverages that require CO2 for carbonation. And those the same cylinders, there's a significant difference between the one that's empty and the one that is full. And it is, you just pick them up and you can tell which one's which because it's like a thing of propane. It's heavy. And back in the day with R12 and the CFCs, a congressman from Connecticut or a senator from Connecticut, I forget how it got introduced, or very much supported and wrote a bill to for licensing of air conditioning technicians, and he also had the school already going in Connecticut, because I think it was you had to be licensed at a state level, and then they made this federal, and this guy was able to take this course that he had already set up or whatever in a school, so you could get your licensing for recovering refrigerant. Well, the thing is that refrigerant is heavy. It doesn't go into the atmosphere. And the whole thing with CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons or whatever they're called, was they were saying that it is causing holes in the ozone layer, which holes in the ozone layer, I believe, is another thing that's been, a myth that's been debunked, that was being pushed, that, humans are bad, but you don't hear anything about it anymore. But CFCs are heavy.
I heard all the stuff we implemented for ozone layer worked. Yay!
Yeah,
we win. See, I'm looking here and on the internet, and I'm not finding the answer to what you're saying here. What you're saying is true. It does appear to be heavier than air, and nobody seems to want to put together a sentence like, why does a gas that has a heavier than air specific gravity cause global warming? And so, with a quick Google search, I can't answer that. You probably know more about gases than I do.
Oh, not necessarily, but I just think of anybody who would say cow farts as being a big deal, when if you would think about it, where are cows usually concentrated? They're concentrated in large fields, or surrounded by, you think, farm, plant life, at the very least plant life that might eat up that CO2. I don't know.
Well, I think that
just a thought, I guess.
Yeah, I appreciate the call, Billy. Thank you for it. 855-450-3733. I've certainly heard that you can do more for the environment by being a vegan and driving a Hummer than you could by being a meat eater and driving a Yugo. Those things are probably true. At least I've read them on the internet. To a certain
extent, if you're buying your
methane
meat,
is supposed to be 20 times the greenhouse gas that carbon dioxide is.
If you're buying your meat from Walmart, or you're buying your meat from Bardo Farm, who's a family farm, here's all
Bardo has beef?
They actually do have beef now, yes.
Okay. Yep. See, because beef is cows are different than, say, pigs or chickens or something like that as far as methane production goes. Not all meat is the same when it comes to greenhouse gas production. Beef is by far the worst.
And I think global warming has to do with the temperature of the sun. That's what controls the temperature of Earth. That sun goes out, we're all freezing to death. And if that sun wants to shoot a lot more radiation than normal, we're going to be hot. And it's really the physics of it.
Your thoughts are welcome. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. Discord.freetalklive.com to sound even better.
What is it costing you in vet bills for that convenience of just pulling open a bag of
formulated, extruded, processed cereal bits that cost a ton of money anyways?
How do you feed your dog to derive not only energy, but a good coat, bright eyes, and a great attitude?
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
I found his raw meat diet on Dynovite.com with just the raw meat and the eggs and the Dynovite and the Super Omega on top of it.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
Ground beef, white rice, eggs, including the shells, and the Dynovite supplement, and then the Lico Chops.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
It just balances out his body and his mind and his spirit.
Adding Dynovite to their diet has every single dog in my kennel looking better than they have ever looked.
Their skin is so much better now that they're on the raw diet. I don't even give them the kibble anymore.
DINOVITE.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Do you know the difference between erudite and pedantic? If you do, you're probably pedantic. But seriously, a surprising number of erudite people mispronounce erudite, which has 3 syllables, not 4. Say erudite, not erudite. Because you are judged by how you speak, you want to avoid common misstatements, especially if you're a job seeker. For instance, do you know the difference between imply and infer? Only a speaker can imply. Only a listener can infer. And when you say you'll be out of pocket, do you mean out of touch? Out of pocket means you're on your own dime, not yet reimbursed. And if anyone ever asks, why do you always answer a question with a question? You should reply, do I do that? Just kidding. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. Somebody just called in about global warming. That's how it goes here on Free Talk Live. You never know what's coming next because you can call in and talk about what's on your mind. I know people believe that somehow we're preventing them from talking about whatever it is that they might be thinking about, or that they've got some kind of long wait, but not so much.
You know, if you're an angry, crazy guy and you call constantly, we really don't need to hear from you anymore. And then if you're one of these guys that, just can't get to the point, or you drop a curse word, that
could be an issue. It's Mark with you.
Jay.
And Angie.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE is in Free Talk Live. So I've got this article from rightoncrime.com. And it's entitled, written by a police officer, Let's Reconsider Traffic Enforcement. Traffic enforcement is a hoax. There, I said it. Well, maybe it's not a hoax, but we actually do it. We do actually do it after all, but it's not what it appears to be. It's a tax, more or less, without the political stigma such as a term brings along with it. It's a time to change that. While Right on Crime does not often support its positions through anecdotal information, please indulge me for a few moments and decide for yourself the logic of my position. Now, I've been saying for some time, and I'm sure many people have too, that basically police have been reduced. Not that this isn't what they wanted to do. Cops didn't. A bunch of kids didn't say, let's join the police force and turn ourselves into a bunch of armed fundraisers.
Yeah, I tell people the only purpose for police today is to make sure you pay taxes, and all these traffic fines and fees and penalties are essentially taxation without representation. Well, so is property tax, as far as I'm concerned. But
yeah, a fee. I mean, for instance, speeding. I think it's got to be the number one. Rolling through a stop sign, stoplight. Those kind of things are probably pretty common for people. In many cases, when somebody gets a ticket for stop sign, stoplight violation, it's not because anybody was ever put in danger. It's just because, well, you missed your timing or something happened or whatever.
The cop has a quota.
Right. I got pulled over for going through a red arrow. I never even saw it. I go through this light so often, I just knew that it was clear, everything was fine, and I rolled right through. The cop was right there. It's not like I wasn't trying to do anything. I got it all on video, or did at one point, because I have a camera in my car. But the cop's like, I had to do a double take. You went through there. You didn't speed up. You didn't slow down. You didn't do anything. He was just stunned. Well, no one's life was in danger. He never gave me a ticket. The reason he pulled me over is just to tell me I did it. And by the way, I did not have my fireman's helmet in the back seat that day. So I didn't get a ticket because of some reason besides me being a fireman, in case you care. And so, when you're talking about a speeding ticket, in many cases, people say that speeding is bad. But a lot of times they make those speed limits too low for the road you're on.
I agree.
And
it's purposely done. There's a whole calculation they use, and they basically have these. They repave roads or build roads, and they have these little wires that go across.
Yep.
And they're a couple feet apart or whatever, and they measure
the tubes. Yeah.
They're basically air tubes, and they click air switches, and they measure how fast you're going. And they take that number where people like to cruise on that road, and they use like a percentage of that number, and it's different in different areas. But there was a big to-do about this in Colorado and certain counties that they were doing these illegal under speed limit,
limits,
whatever, right, for purposeful, and then they'll go through and actually knock speed limits down in places too, like sneaky, so they can generate a bunch of revenue. There's lawsuits about this stuff all over the nation. Right.
I've heard that they want the speed limit at something like 80% of the 80th percentile of what people generally travel down that particular road.
Yep. And
so it's basically supposed to be set by what speed people travel down the road. But I mean, there are certainly times when I have seen somebody going too quickly in a given area. There's no doubt about it. There's times I've seen people going too slow too. And if you wanted to take care of policing a given area for speed, like this is a dangerous spot to go too quickly on, there's a curve coming up, or whatever the reason is, we have technology where they have speed cameras. They don't need a cop every once in a while sitting there. You can get everybody who goes too fast through there.
Speed dips work awesome. Speed bumps work awesome. They got these in Colorado. They got these rumble strips where in Weld County they have rumble strips everywhere. The speed changes from like 65 to 55. There's a couple of rumble strips, and everywhere in these long country roads you drive for miles on, and all of a sudden there's a stop sign, quarter of a mile, eighth of a mile, X amount of feet. There's rumble strips.
That's awesome. I can't tell you how many times I've been going in rural New Hampshire or rural Vermont, and I'm going from a 55 to a 45 to a 35, and I don't even, how'd that happen? I didn't see the sign.
When I was out there was John Hickenlooper's the governor. I don't know if he still is, but there was a thing between him and some insurance companies, and these insurance companies executives were basically, what you have is a bunch of idiots that are moving out into, rural northeastern Colorado, and they're getting run over by semi trucks carrying, corn silage or whatever, or grain, because they're just running right through stop signs. And the insurance companies got together and basically put it out to bid, contractors that were certified by the state to put in these LED flashing lights around the signs, the little solar panels, and also these rumble strips at all the stop signs. And there's a lot of intersections out there. There were four-way intersections and literally had no stop signs for years, because they were dirt roads. Well, then they pave them, and they didn't put the stop signs up.
Right.
And then
it'll be fine.
When all the yuppies start moving out
they don't
into
know
the
what
country,
to do.
They're getting run over by farm equipment because this
Now,
should have looked both ways.
The little trailers that you drive by who flash your speed, do they have cameras?
Some
It
of them.
depends on them. Yes, I mean, some do, some don't.
And can they send you tickets if they have cameras from those?
I'm sure that there are some that can send tickets, but generally the ones that I have found just set off the radar.
Okay.
I don't see them in New Hampshire, but I'll tell you the ones that send tickets are in New York. They're in Connecticut. They're in Boulder, Colorado.
They're in Arizona.
They're in Arizona, Indiana. You see them. Illinois.
Going on with the article here from rightoncrime.com. During my 21 years as a police officer, I would conservatively estimate that I investigated over 1,000 traffic accidents. In all those accidents, I never found an expired registration sticker to be the cause of the accident. I never found that the driver waiting to signal until 90 feet before a turn instead of the required 100 feet was the cause of the accident. I never found an air freshener dangling from a rear view mirror to be the cause of highway carnage. I could go on. There are thousands of traffic codes throughout the country. Despite this admittedly small sampling, 1,000 traffic accidents, I'm confident that other police officers would admit the same experience. Most accidents are caused by actual bad driving, following too close, traveling too fast for conditions, or failing to yield where required. That's got to be the biggest one there. Much of the traffic code criminalizes things that do not contribute much to roadway safety, which is almost universally the reason given for their enforcement. Anyone questioning the logic of such enforcement allows for the simple answer for roadway safety to be indignantly pointed at as beyond reproach. Who would pursue such a question in the face of such an impeachable and worthy answer? And I think the officer is being very, very honest here and pretty clear that a lot of the things that they hand out tickets for are really just taxes, and they really don't have anything to do with safety. I think that probably the biggest, as a firefighter, I would say the biggest problem is distracted driving, is that we put humans, these small group primates that were evolved for hunting on the savannah, digging the brain tissue out of carrion behind the wheel, and say, good luck being a good driver. And, in any activity, any human activity, 50% of the population is going to be below average.
Also, overconfidence is an issue I've noticed, too, with my friends that get in wrecks often.
855-450-3733. 855-450-FREE.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have two convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part, Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Finally, there's a way for you to get into the blockchain, the hottest financial sector without all the speculation. Now, enjoy a 27% annualized payment each month without the ups and downs of Bitcoin. Seen on programs broadcast on Fox Business News, blockchain data centers offer an equipment leasing program in the explosive digital asset marketplace. Inspired by entrepreneurs who sold picks and shovels during the gold rush, the money is in the mining equipment used to manufacture dozens of critical digital assets. Not a security IPO or note, blockchain data centers have a proven turnkey equipment sale leaseback program with a 27% annualized lease payment deposited into your bank account each month. Don't miss this one. Stake your claim today. Call 800-600-3388. That's 800-600-3388. These valuable lease contracts won't last long. Call now. 800-600-3388. 800-600-3388. Equipment offer poses a financial risk to owners. Consult with financial professionals before purchasing. Not an offer to buy or sell a security which requires an offering document.
Free Talk Live.
It's not just zoning rules, it's everything.
It's true.
It's everything.
There's so many rules.
Many laws. You can't possibly know them. It's physically an impossibility to know the laws. You know not to hurt other people. I don't need a law telling me to do that. But the rest of them? Totally inaccessible.
It's true.
It's written in legalese. If you don't have training in reading that crap, it might as well be a foreign language. And as you pointed out, it doesn't matter if you can read it.
I thought I had them dead to rights. And these bureaucrats, they just like, no, we do whatever we want here at the zoning board.
Yeah, that's right.
And you'll kiss our butts.
Peon. Surf.
You'll
slave.
You'll do what we say.
Yeah. Why label them citizens?
Oh.
Why not just call it what it is? You're a serf. You're a slave.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Reading an article here from a police officer who's saying that, well, traffic enforcement is largely a hoax, a scam. And we're going to go on with it here in just a moment. First, I want to tell you about 123.freetalklive.com. That's because this is an ad program that's as easy as 123. It's a combination of digital, radio, and good old-fashioned direct mail. I believe it to be revolutionary in the area of advertising. And I can explain it now. I've had a conversation with the folks, and they will let me explain it a little bit more on air. Then again, you've always been able to go to 123.freetalklive.com and understand it. But more or less, what it is that people can download an app, take pictures with the app, and then have those photographs sent to them. The only catch? There's a little bit of advertising added to the photo. Who's going to have a problem with that? I mean, some advertisers paid for your picture to be sent to your house. You're not going to have a problem with that. I mean, people are going to Walgreens right now to have their pictures made up. So having them mailed to their house, I think, is brilliant. So now you can have photo-ready ads put into the hands of your customers, just about guaranteed, right? Like, I can't guarantee that people are going to open up their pictures that they sent off for, but it seems ridiculous that they wouldn't. Whereas direct mail, thrown in the garbage. Direct mail is probably the most trackable and predictable of advertising out there. You kind of know what's going to react and how it's going to react. So this kind of direct marketing, direct mail, is going to, in my opinion, probably be significantly more valuable than regular direct mail. You can get involved by going to 123.freetalklive.com. It's 123.freetalklive.com.
So are these
got a business
pictures they send to you, and then they send you some advertising in with the pictures?
Nope.
Or
it's they've got a patented micro perforation that goes along the picture, so it looks like a straight edge like you're used to on your picture, but one of the edges is actually perforation.
So you can pull the advertisement off.
Right.
Okay.
So the advertisement comes off, and then you've got a regular 4x6 or something like that. But
so it's not like your picture's not permanently watermarked with some like advertisement.
Oh no!
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
thank God. Yeah,
cool.
You're clear on that. Yeah, it's just it's attached. You know, you tear it off, and it's gone away. Anyway, going on with this police officer's story about the traffic enforcement, basically being a problem. He says, having been in management staff meetings on more than a few occasions where the chief, this is the chief of police, would express concern over a decline in citation productivity. That's the number of tickets the patrolmen are writing.
Other words, quota.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that is. Of the patrol division, or on occasion, an individual officer, it was always clear that ticket writing was a measure of an officer's productivity. Traffic safety was only tangential to the discussion, perhaps in the realm of DUI enforcement. He's saying the DUI enforcement more likely to be about traffic safety. More importantly, the city board would inquire about any drop in ticket writing. It was made clear to the supervisors that it was unacceptable. It was because of a rise in traffic accidents or road safety complaints, or was it because of a rise of traffic accidents or roadway safety complaints from the constituents? That was never made apparent. What was apparent was that revenue generated from traffic tickets, something the city accountant actually used as a predictor for revenue in upcoming budgets, was affected. This is a line item. A very important line item for municipalities is how much money are they going to get from cops.
And this line item should be evidence in your case in any traffic ticket if you can find it, because that will show the fact that the city is expecting this money. They're dependent on this money, city, state, county, wherever, and this should be brought to light. And this is, I believe, grounds for a dismissal on just a very simple, easy facts that, now they're biased because if this is a line item, they're expected to perform. And what was the language that you called that quota? Do you remember in there, Mark? What
was the term? Let's see. It said citation productivity.
Citation productivity. That should be in the show notes. That is should be included in every single motion to dismiss if you ever go fight a traffic ticket.
Right. I mean, that's a terminology that they use, and I think, this makes perfectly good sense. I mean, I like New Hampshire as a state. If you're going to say you like states, New Hampshire doesn't have its municipal governments are disallowed from benefiting from ticket writing. So, for instance, if the Keene Police Department writes a ticket in New Hampshire, the revenue goes to the Department of Safety for the state of New Hampshire. So the organization known as the City of Keene that employs the cop that wrote the ticket does not benefit from that particular ticket. And therefore, you don't have the problems that you have in some municipalities. Waldo, Florida comes to mind as a place that had its police department shut down for basically being a revenue farm for people traveling through the city, the town. I don't know what it was. Municipality. I'll use that term. It sits right on 301. Traveling, if you're traveling down 95 and you're going to head over to the west side of the state, 75, to Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Bradenton, Naples, Fort Myers, these are big places. Have you ever heard of Waldo? I didn't think so. But you've heard of Tampa, Sarasota, and all these places. Mm-hmm. Well, Waldo knows nobody's going to stop in at the Waffle House in Waldo because there's nothing to stop in at Waldo for. So it's not getting revenue from any of these Flatlanders and Yankees that are heading through their town. I guess everybody in Florida is a Flatlander. All these outsiders that are heading through their town. Well, they wanted some revenue. So what did they do? They made it impossible, as difficult as possible, to follow their speed limit rules. They'd have you down from 55 to 45 to 35, back up to 45, back up to 55, down to 45, down to 35, and they put these just waves of signage in so that if you missed one, wham, whoop, whoop,
you were done.
Yep, they got you, and they gave you a ticket. So it was just a trick to get people to have to pay tickets. Everybody knows that out-of-towners aren't going to come back and fight their ticket.
I heard Eddie Craig years ago talking about Waldo, Florida, and he's a guy from Texas. He's a former sheriff, and he does a radio show about fighting the government and fighting traffic tickets and stuff. And this Waldo, Florida thing, he cites the court case quite a bit in a lot of his things about the whole revenue scheme and stuff. But in Massachusetts, like Belchertown, Mass. has the state police barracks. So the local Belchertown cops actually collect. The town gets 50% of the tickets they write, and they are extremely aggressive.
Yeah.
Because they get half that money.
Well, it's revenue that they don't have to tax their citizens on. They're getting people from out of town. Here's another thing is that I imagine if people, people all across the country have seen Florida license plates, right? And what you'll note is that some of the license plates at the bottom say Sunshine State. Some of them say the individual county.
Right.
The individual county has become less and less popular over time because, well, I mean, do you want to be from Manatee County and parking up in Hillsborough County? And if you're doing parking and you've somehow done some little thing wrong, if you've got a Hillsborough County plate, then they know, well, all right, well, they're going to fight the ticket and they're probably going to have a better chance of winning versus a Manatee County plate. They're not drive it up here for this. Give them a ticket. And now almost everybody gets a Sunshine State plate.
So it's an option. You can pick.
Yeah, you can pick one or the other, but you can see what people will prefer to do because they have the option. If you're coming in from Dade County and you're driving through whatever Dixie County or whatever Waldo's in, I don't know the answer to that. I'm sorry for the 5 of you listening from Waldo, if that's that many, and you're all related and married. And these folks, I'm sorry, Waldo, podunk, even though I am from Florida, the eastern side of Manatee County where they all talk like this. I mean, quite literally, Waldo's the kind of place that people from, Bradenton make fun of. Bradenton, known as Bradentucky. And so the people that roll through, they're going to give these tickets out to whomever they can give them out to, and people in Florida, they got tired of it. They don't want their county on their plate anymore, and I suspect it's like that all around. I mean, one day are we going to have national plates so that?
Well, it's funny you mention it. At PorkFest, a friend of mine who runs a Montana plate, I run a Montana plate. A ton of Free Staters run Montana plates in New Hampshire, and he got pulled over by a cop in Grafton. And a cop just wanted to say, basically asked him if he was like a Free Stater or like that. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he goes, okay. And him and the cop kind of became friendly and chatty. And he goes, yep, we don't like pulling over Montana plates because we're going to court if we write you a ticket and you have a Montana plate. And he says, we're just going to court. We know it.
Yeah.
So he's just not interested. And I think he had like a tail laid out or something, and he just told him, hey, get your light fixed or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, a fix-it ticket, I appreciate it when they let me know that my tail light's gone out. I don't have a particular problem with that. There's no reason to write somebody a ticket on that. I mean, does it make things better? A fix-it ticket, that's one thing, but, generating revenue off of it, that's not about public safety. It's nothing about public safety. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450. Free is in Free Talk Live. Check out the Discord lines at discord.freetalklive.com.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
There are basically 2 types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,418. Silver at $15.30. And Bitcoin is trading at $11,209. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, U.S. President Donald Trump's decision to display tanks on the National Mall during the Independence Day festivities is causing a meltdown among his critics, who claim it's an authoritarian move worthy of North Korea or Russia. The Free Thought Project reports that as part of the Salute to America celebrations on the 4th of July, the U.S. Navy Blue Angels acrobatic group will fly over the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and there will be tanks stationed outside on the grounds. The event will culminate with the customary fireworks display. All of that is intended to show off what Trump calls, quote, the strongest and most advanced military anywhere in the world, end quote. A rail car with two M1A1 Abrams tanks, two Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, and what looked to be an M88A2 recovery vehicle are all part of the 64th Armored Regiment from Fort Stewart, Georgia, and have been spotted outside the Capitol on Tuesday. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A senior U.S. senator is demanding an investigation over reports that American-made weapons were found at a base of forces loyal to Khalifa Haftar, the East Libyan-based military commander. The anti-media reports the UN-recognized government of National Accord said its forces found the weapons at a base they captured from Haftar's militia in the strategic town of Garan, located south of the capital of Tripoli, last week. It said the seized weapons included 4 Javelin anti-tank missiles packed in wooden crates marked Armed Forces of the United Arab Emirates. In a letter to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Senator Robert Menendez of New Jersey, the top Democrat on the Foreign Relations Committee, voiced deep concern about the reports and said if the Emirates transferred the weapons, it would be a serious violation of U.S. law. Haftar's forces have been unsuccessful in seeking to capture Tripoli from the government of National Accord in an offensive that began in April. Libya has remained beset by turmoil since 2011. When a bloody NATO-backed uprising led to the ouster and death of long-serving President Muammar Gaddafi after more than 4 decades in power. On Wednesday, people all over the world celebrated WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange's birthday and freedom of the press with the #CandlesForJulian campaign. But one group of people, the Catalans, are also marching in a hunger strike, celebrating their independence and fighting for the freedom of their own politically imprisoned comrades. Activist Post reports that WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been imprisoned for months in Belmarsh prison, pending a hearing on extradition to the United States. Ironically, when Assange was holed up inside the Ecuadorian embassy prior to his arrest, his internet was taken away for criticizing the treatment of the Catalan people and daring to tell the tale of their revolutionary referendum from Spain in 2017, when Spain responded by invoking Article 155 of the Constitution, which suspended Catalonia's autonomy. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
From the creation of the Bible in 1912 by a struggling Baltimore book salesman to the day in 1493 when Christopher Columbus and his crew looked back on their voyage and realized what they truly discovered was themselves. The Onion looks back at This Week in History. On July 21st, 1969, astronaut Neil Armstrong became the first human to set foot on the surface of the moon. The moon, for Christ's sake.
This is Tranquility Base. The Eagle has landed. Jesus H. Christ, Houston. We're on the moon. Over.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy that. We cannot believe you are on the moon.
I'm descending the ladder. Just one more step and I'm wholly living. I absolutely am standing on the surface of the moon. Jesus H. Christ in a chicken basket.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Kicking off the third hour of Free Talk Live. Live, if it's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 days a week. It's Mark with you.
Jay.
And Angie.
We're not on 7 days a week. Free Talk Live has sort of rotating staff here, but it wasn't created to be the Mark and Ian show. It was created to be an opportunity for you to call in and talk about whatever's on your mind, and that number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450. Free as in freedom. And we're reading the story from rightoncrime.com. This is a police officer writing, and he's sort of taking to task local municipalities and their use of traffic enforcement. Going on, he says, as a revenue generator, traffic tickets are a local politician's best friend. They can be increased as needed by a simple order from the top that enforcement needs to be stepped up. There's no shortage of violations and violators to cite, ever. By the way, it's probably worth pointing out right here that Neil Gorsuch, the Supreme Court Justice, recently said that anybody in America can be arrested for anything.
He's right.
Now, I'm not sure that anybody can be arrested for anything, but I'll go ahead and say this. Anybody can be arrested for something. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, everybody who's listening to me, you are doing something illegal. And if you're in a car, it's very likely something that you're doing is illegal in that car.
You're probably, most everybody is impersonating a United States citizen. Almost everybody I know has checked off that they are a United States citizen in some government form, and that is a impersonating a United States citizen, and there is a criminal code for it, and people are actually, charged for that, and they do the time. They have to pay the taxes. They do involuntary servitude for impersonating a United States citizen.
Well, I'm sure there's lots of other violations too, but nonetheless, going on here, he says, lest anyone complain that the response that it's for public safety shrouds the politician in an unimpeachable blanket of righteousness by looking out for our families, especially our children. We need a law against that crack in your windshield so that we might just save one child. If you have any doubt that the violations and violators are endless, try this mental exercise. First, read through the entire vehicle code in your state. In the month or so that it takes you to do that, try to memorize all the violations so that you have a clear picture in your clear picture of what you can and cannot do. Yes, I realize this is unfair because it's impossible. There's no way that you could possibly know all the ways that you might violate the traffic law as an average citizen.
Can I throw a good one in there?
What's that?
Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 90, Section 3.5. It says, any person who applies for a license to operate a motor vehicle gives irrevocable power of attorney to the Registrar of Motor Vehicles. Just Google MGL 93.5 or the 1/2, and it's if you get apply for registration for car, apply for registration for trailer, or apply for a license to operate a motor vehicle, you give irrevocable power of attorney to the Registrar of Motor Vehicles.
One of my favorites is the swerving inside your lane as a reason to pull you over. If you're swerving inside your lane, it means you have not left your lane. I mean, What is there? What could they possibly say to you about I mean, who isn't swerving inside their lane to some extent? What is a swerve? How long does it take to swerve? Over the course of a mile, a half mile, a quarter mile? I mean, what is it? I don't even know what a swerving inside your lane is. I mean, my lane keeping software or whatever it is on my car, that's what it does. It bebops back and forth between a certain distance between the lines on the side of the road.
So you look like a drunk, right? Going down the road, maybe?
I don't think it's a noticeable length. I don't think it's noticeable, but it does do that.
I got a ticket from a new Vermont DOT cop in 2001 or 2002. I had this brand new truck, and he's going to inspect it. And I trailer was like 6 months old, so everything was like perfect. And he couldn't see any window washer with his flashlight down on my window wash thing, and there was a lot of bugs in my windshield. And I even hit the thing. I'm like, look, it's still spraying because it's got a little idiot light that tells you when it is. He wrote me a ticket for not having an adequate amount of window washer. It's the only thing he wrote me a ticket for. I mean, I had a fire extinguisher, all the stuff, you know.
Who knew you even had to have that? I'm sure I had cars that didn't have a windshield squirter wiper thing.
Oh, well, it's you have to have it. Actually, it's part of inspection, but it just there wasn't enough. He said he couldn't visibly see it. And
wait a second. If I had my 1969 Volvo 142S.
Well, if that one wasn't required to have it, it's like these cars before certain years didn't have to have seatbelts or only had one tail light.
So if you have a crappy enough car, it's fine. But
Right.
if you have a sufficiently a new car, then you've got to have it.
What happened with that ticket?
It got dismissed.
Okay.
Actually, the judge just dismissed it because I came all the way up from southern New Hampshire because my license was Winchester, New Hampshire when I had a license back then. And he's like, it was a $25 ticket. And I was on my way to Canada anyways. And I just stopped at the courthouse, you know, kind of set up my hay trip for that. And he was like, you came all the way up here? It was in St. Johnsbury, Vermont. So it was like a couple-hour ride.
Yeah.
And
that's the Northeast Kingdom.
Right. And he didn't even want to hear anything about it, and he just is like, "Well, you just showed up." He goes, "You filled up a window wash?" I go, "Well, yeah, I want to keep the bugs off my window, you know," and that's all it was.
Yeah, they decided that wasn't worth going after you. You can see the dedication. Let's go to Elise calling in from Maine. Elise, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, what's going on? I just wanted to let everyone know I'm not driving drunk. I'm just avoiding potholes.
Right, and that's right. If you're driving up in the Northeast. What else are you going to do but swerve inside your lane?
Yeah, like March is like, you know, Mario Kart around here, you know, with the
and
potholes.
April and May.
I'm sure, you know, if you could probably count up like quite a significant number of warnings or stops or whatnot for, you know, reckless driving calls that were actually avoiding, you know, frost heaves, potholes and whatnot.
Right.
But I guess what I wanted to bring up was that I know a police officer that actually told me the main reason for, you know, patrolling for speeding and whatnot. And he described it as community engagement. So, I mean, of course, there is such thing as criminal speeding. I mean, if you're going 90 and like 50 or whatnot, then they just have to because that's endangering other people's lives at that point, just because of the physical limitations of the car. I mean, if you're going... You know, these aren't race cars.
Yeah, 90's kind of dangerous, especially if you're not on, you know, the flattest and straightest of interstates.
Community engagement. I mean, isn't that why Hitler set up all the roadblocks so they could have
is looking for warrants is what that is.
Yeah, potentially, but you know, it's kind of he described it like a domino effect. If you have someone that's speeding, you know, you stop them from speeding, just let's say via warning, then you know, kind of just spreads from there.
Yeah, in my experience, thanks for the call, Elise. Appreciate it. Most of the time I've been stopped. I can't speak for everybody, and everybody has a different experience, and I don't claim that their experience is going to be the same as mine. The vast majority of times I get stopped, I don't get a ticket. I just don't get one. Now, admittedly, I'm a volunteer firefighter. Oftentimes the helmet's sitting in the back seat. My wife, I think she's been stopped one time in the last decade and got a ticket. End of story.
I get a ticket every time.
Yeah.
And I get stopped a lot.
They say pretty ladies don't get tickets.
Oh, every time I get stopped.
I don't understand.
And I record them.
Well, I can't say that they probably like that.
Probably not.
Or probably don't like that, yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. I've kind of had a thing. I mean, if I see someone on the side of the road, I usually try to stop and, like, help them.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, even if I'm like have to be somewhere, and especially if it's like an older fella or an older lady, I'll definitely stop. But if I like don't really feel like stopping and she looks like Angie, I'm going to keep going because some dude's going to stop and help her out. No problem.
Sure. Yeah, well, that makes some sense.
But, and I wonder if the same thing with cops is, this hot girl thinks she can just get away with this because,
that is a meme, right?
Let her off the ticket or whatever.
The idea is that attractive women wouldn't get tickets. But
I was told when I moved to Westmoreland that the cops in the area knew where I lived, that they knew I moved from Alstead to Westmoreland because of who I was.
Huh. Wow.
They were certain that I was the founder of Cop Block, and I said, I have no idea how they got that idea.
That's interesting.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, they watch the Free Staters around here, got to say that. 855-450-3733. 855-450-FREE is in Free Talk Live, or use the Discord lines at discord.freetalklive.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com. Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale, totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
City Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. We're reading this story from this police officer talking about law enforcement and traffic safety and how, well, a lot of it's just hooey. But I want to tell you about My Magic Mud. My Magic Mud is a black tooth powder made of charcoalized coconut husks and bentonite clay. And that's got to sound pretty strange to you folks who've never used this before. But if it does, take a look at the ingredients on your toothpaste and tell me about all that other stuff that you're really familiar with that you're reading there. God knows what it is. Swargum, what, I don't even know what those things are. I can't even guess at what's in your toothpaste. Anyway, it's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and it certainly does. I used it when I first started, used it 4 days in a row, and then once every 4 to 7 days after that. And your teeth will be as white as they can be. And they have other products there at mymagicmud.com that you can fill in with. You know, they got great toothpastes. They've got toothbrushes made of bamboo. They've got mouthwash that's awesome. My wife loves that mouthwash. I've stopped using the mouthwash because she wants to have it for herself. So fine, she can have it as long as she orders some more. And I think that My Magic Mud gets my teeth cleaner than regular toothpaste too. And you should try it out and see whether that's true for you. You can get it at most major health food stores, Sprouts, CVS, Natural Grocers, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle. My Magic Mud has gone global in the last decade. It was just made by a mom who was trying to find a better tooth cleaner for her kids. And in the process, she found something that benefits us all. But if you go to mymagicmud.com, I can get you 20% off with coupon code FTL20. It's mymagicmud.com. This stuff isn't that expensive, so 20% off. I mean, it's not the greatest discount in the world, but man, oh man, you're going to be happy you did. mymagicmud.com, coupon code FTL20. And it's a great product. I can't stress that enough. I love it.
I believe you can use Bitcoin buying it from those guys, right?
They used to be able to, but they have with the new website, you no longer can. I think you might be able to call and do that, though.
Okay, so send them some emails. Be like, hey, guys, I want to pay you in cryptocurrency. And let's, hustle them along a little bit.
Yeah, the new website is, much more, it's a big deal.
I'm sure they can add a button.
They might be able to do that. So, I want to go on with this article here from rightoncrime.com. The officer's talking about, hey, if you want to see whether or not traffic safety as it's enforced is fair or not, just go ahead and read all the traffic laws. So obviously that's impossible. In order to make this exercise plausible, just stick with the more common statutes and local ordinances. Laws may vary for each city or county you pass through, so add their ordinances to your reading list as well. Now think back to your drive into work this morning. Did you use your turn signal for every lane change? Did you signal
You
at
don't
least?
need it for every lane change.
Well, some states you do.
If you read all these laws, Eddie Craig talks about this. This is true. Massachusetts, Vermont, and New York, where I did a lot of traffic tickets. It basically says for traffic ticket, directional is required only when affecting the flow of traffic. So if there's no one on the road, whether you're at an intersection or cruising down the highway and doing lane changes, it's not required. And I've actually had cops on the stand read this. It's Chapter 89, Section 7B in Massachusetts, and they weren't even aware of it as they're reading it, and it's a good way to get a case dismissed. And also in Massachusetts and New York, all of these motor vehicle infractions is what they call them. You can only get a ticket for it in the event of a collision, is what it says. And the cops don't even everything goes to in the event of a collision is right at the very end of the code. And when you go to the Secretary of State's office and you have them print up this law and you have them stamp it, certified Massachusetts Secretary of State's office, because that's really the only way to introduce it as evidence in the court. And it says at the end, in the incident of a collision, that is in the way the statutory construction is set up, is that's the only time they can really write you a speeding ticket or a ticket for a stop sign.
But the answer is that they can do it anytime they want, and
because they don't understand the law.
Well, and you're
Their
not going
own
to fight
codes.
it in most cases.
Oh, most people won't fight it.
Right.
I actually have been accused of using court as a sport, as having fun. So,
Well,
I fight it.
That much is true. Going on, it says, did you signal at least 100 feet before making a turn? Did you exceed the speed limit even by 1 mile per hour? Did you drop down to 35 miles an hour for the exit ramp from the 75 miles per hour you were on the highway at the time? You don't have to answer. We all know the response. I chose these examples because these were just some of the violations I can recall from my drive to work this morning. I would add that each violation probably occurred more than once, and a few of them occurred many times. I would also add that despite this apparent recklessness and disregard for the law, I made it to work without getting into a traffic accident. I didn't even incur the wrath of my fellow travelers, as evidenced by the lack of finger waving and horn blaring. They're all doing it too. If the average traffic ticket would incur a $100 fine, how much would my drive to work have cost me today if I'd been ticketed for each violation? $1,000? More? How much would it cost me to get back home? When I was a recruit at the police academy a lifetime ago, I remember an instructor telling our class, if you're following a car for more than 3 blocks and haven't found a violation to stop it for, then you aren't looking. He was right. None of us are capable of complying with the entirety of the vehicle code for any length of time. That does not even seem to make much sense. The entire goal of policing is to gain voluntary compliance with the law, something that cannot be done if the law cannot be understood or followed by the average person. This is really important.
The goalpost of policing has moved radically.
Yeah. I mean, there are people listening to me right now. I am one of these people that have talked in their lives about the rule of law and the importance of it. I'm sorry. The rule of law is a myth. If it ever existed, it certainly doesn't exist now. Because if you live in a nation where the law enforcers are claiming that all they have to do is follow you for 3 blocks to give you a traffic violation, pull you over, look in your car, and that there's a book written called 3 Felonies a Day. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if you've committed 3 felonies today. As a matter of fact, your mind probably recoils at the notion. But you haven't read the book. And these things are a reality. The Supreme Court Justice has been quoted at this point saying anybody can be arrested for anything in this country. That's a statement not about how great this country is, but how far it has fallen. And I don't know. I mean, I've been told about the rule of law. I just don't know whether there was ever a moment in time whether this myth, this notion really existed. Maybe.
Yeah, we got to stop feeding this parasite is really the bottom line. I mean, I think that's the only solution. And, activism and civil disobedience, there's a lot we can do. And we're doing it here in New Hampshire and having fun at it.
Yeah. So rightoncrime.com is where this article comes from. And I think this police officer is writing anonymously in this article. Actually, Randy Peterson, I'm sorry, it was below the fold here as a police officer working on patrol. It's 21 years. And he's really got it right. Traffic enforcement in this country is taxation. They are revenuers with guns.
Taxation without representation.
Sure. Anybody can be picked up for anything. They're saying it right here. And, what are you going to do about it? You can't go to court and say, hey, look, there's too many traffic laws. They're going to say public safety. First thing they're going to say.
That should be part of the motion to dismiss. Listen to Eddie Craig. That's what you can do about it. He's got great traffic stuff.
855-450-3733. 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Are you concerned that the values that made America great are no longer taught in schools? Well, I am, so I got my son the Tuttle Twins children's book series.
My name is Jack, and I'm 11, and I just finished the Tuttle Twins series. It taught me about liberty, free market economics, and entrepreneurship.
Give all the young people in your life a chance at reason and clear thought, because they're not going to get it at school. There are 9 books in the series, and each one teaches a set of ideas that children aren't getting elsewhere. Go to TuttleTwins.com and use coupon code FTL to get 40% off. That's TuttleTwins.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever you want. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. It's right in the name. It's not a big surprise. My name's Mark.
I'm Jay.
I'm Angie.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE as in freedom. Reading a story from rightoncrime.com, and it's a police officer with 21 years of experience basically saying, and we had one recently too from another police officer, and they're just saying it over and over again that traffic enforcement is revenue generation. That's because traffic enforcement is revenue generation. That's what it is.
Surprise.
And that parasite keeps growing and keeps getting hungrier and hungrier. It needs more revenue and more revenue every day.
Yeah, and the cops, many of them, they know this. They understand that either they're mercenary, that, realize, well, I can't say anything because I got to keep my job, or they, intellectually they've figured it out and they're willing to tell you.
And this is why police departments are having a hard time recruiting new cadets.
It's a true statement. We actually have an article like that may be coming up in a future episode of Free Talk Live. Got it there in the show prep. But I want to tell you about AnyPay. If you've got a retail business and you're looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance, well, if you're not, you should be, because cryptocurrency is getting huge. And you want to be able to take Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So go directly right now to helpmetakebitcoin.com. It only takes a few minutes to get this done. There's no reason to put it off. Do it right now. Helpmetakebitcoin.com. It's a great site that will make it extraordinarily easy for you. They've got an advertising system built in with their little map that allows people to find your business that you've just uploaded at helpmetakebitcoin.com. So not only will you be able to accept cryptocurrency, but you'll now be able to help a whole new segment of people that will probably do business with you that would have never walked in your store because you're taking cryptocurrency.
Well, that happened yesterday. Ian bought gas from the gas station down the road from me because if a couple of the guys at work, they have Bitcoin wallets, cryptocurrency wallets, and they'll take cryptocurrency for gas.
Right. Awesome. Only in New Hampshire, right? Let's go to the call-in lines here on Discord. It's Bad Slave calling in from New Hampshire. Bad Slave, you're on Free Talk Live.
Good evening.
What's on your mind?
I wanted to bring up my pet law change.
Your pet what?
Law change.
Law change, okay.
And what it is basically a reduction down to the bare minimum of possibilities for law enforcement to actually detain people.
All right. What would be the ways?
We would just require every police officer, every law enforcement officer to actually have recording of some event that represents a potential of harming someone else.
Okay. So they have to have audio or video of an event that would have caused harm to a victim.
Well, that even a close call.
I'd like to see evidence of an actual injury. Evidence of an injury.
The evidence of an actual injury is going to be available whether it's recorded or not. I would guess if there's some harm that has been done.
Yeah, if there was an actual injury. But, most of these crimes there's no injury involved, like we were just talking about. It's just all about revenue generation.
This is my point. These should never even be the thought of turning the lights on. And I think that we could put in some, a couple blanket laws that will eliminate that. And I am
this would include
encouraging the general court to do that.
Eliminating copyright, because the reason most people are getting messed with by cops all comes down to copyright. I believe these courts are copyright courts. They're obviously not constitutional courts. I've been in and out of them tremendously, and it all comes down to using copyright. And basically that name and date of birth on any government document is essentially copyright that the state is claiming, and they're bringing into these copyright courts.
But that's just a complication.
It's a fact.
Ideally, we would just remove the requirement for a driver's license and do what you're doing and get away with it somehow.
I'd say I have a quibble with it all. For one, a crime doesn't have to have a victim to be negligent as hell. Let's use, for example, taking a gun and firing bullets into the air. Chances are low that those bullets are going to come down on somebody's head and kill them. But it has happened. And
I'm talking about in the realm of traffic enforcement.
I understand with traffic enforcement, I'm of the opinion that there are certain things that you can do that are just so negligent that we've got to have some kind of rule for getting you off the road.
Well, I think that, okay, so you detain people that you've got a recording of people doing exactly that.
Yep.
And if these guys are all driving with their dash cams running, or even their
and they are
body cams,
and they are,
then there's going to be a recording of some
right.
sort.
I agree. I don't disagree with that point, Bad Slave. I think it's a fine idea.
That's all I'm asking for here is that we have accountability.
I hope we get it. I wish I could give it to you.
Yeah, I mean, we probably go down, 90% in the number of, stupid pullovers. I mean, you see these people on the side of the road all the time.
Well, one of the things that the problem here is that towns, municipalities, counties, these kind of places, they can't afford to pay for the police to only do things that would generally make people happy as the constituency. They need to have
lay them off.
Agreed. But that's kind of not how it goes, unfortunately.
Private security is a lot cheaper than
Thanks
cops.
for the call, Bad Slave. Ultimately, a lot of these cops are brought in because departments want to grow and revenue. They generate revenue and they're willing to generate revenue. The cops that are sitting there going, I'm only giving tickets where, somebody's been grossly negligent or there's a victim. That guy's going to get moved off patrol and moved to something else if he stays on the force at all.
Their retirement fund depends very much on the base paying into the retirement fund to ever increase with the public sector employment. There has to be more hirees at the bottom. It is a classic pyramid scheme.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
And it is a Ponzi scheme also. But if you look at the structure of it, and then, you just go start looking into some of these, government retirement funds, and it literally requires a increase of actual employees to make the fund effective.
Is that why places like Detroit and so many northern towns in the Rust Belt are just their pension funds are going broke?
They're all going broke, but we've just heard only about a few of them. But they're pretty much every major city is underfunded in the United States. The state of California, their pension fund is tremendously underfunded, a whole bunch of them. And this is also another reason why they can't hire cops, because young guys are realizing that these pension funds are probably not going to pay out in 40 years because it's unlikely they're going to pay out in a few years, the way the numbers look.
A lot of departments are going to 401ks. Whether or not police work brings in the fat government paycheck that it did 10, 15, 20 years ago is really irrelevant to the new recruit. The new recruit just needs to know whether or not, what am I going to get paid for flipping burgers at McDonald's versus going out and being an HVAC guy versus being a cop. It's a profession. They learn a particular trade. They have to go to school for a period of time, whatever. And they say, well, in some places, being the cop makes a lot of sense financially. But you're right. The number of police is going down. It's the truth.
And if pension funds require it to expand, especially like Manchester's pension fund requires expansion of the employees.
Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-919-5435. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-919-5435. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-919-5435. 1-800-919-5435.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it.
Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. It's Bitcoin.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Final segment of Free Talk Live. It's possible. This might squeeze you in. I don't know. Well, we'll see. 855-450-3733. I give you the number. What's the worst that could happen? Call in and nobody takes the call, right? I mean, that could happen. It's Mark with you.
Jay.
And Angie.
I want to tell you real quick about the AMP program. Mitch. That's all he gives for his name. Mitch is a platinum amplifier. So thank you so much, Mitch, for going above and beyond. But all we ask is for $5 a month over at amp.freetalklive.com. And that program, I firmly believe, has helped us to reach the 200 radio stations we're on, the more than 100,000 podcast downloads in a month. And honestly, we could double those numbers if we doubled the amplifiers. Go to amp.freetalklive.com. Appreciate it. It's amp.freetalklive.com. Let's go to the Discord line. Gene, the Christian anarchist, is on the line. Gene, you there? This is what happens when I go to call.
Here,
okay,
but
go. Yep, gotcha.
Yes, hello. I'm here, but I'm in Alaska, and the signal might not be the best.
All right.
So,
well, spit it out in one roll, and then there won't be a problem.
Did you fly your plane there?
No. I flew on a commercial plane. But, yeah, I was going to mention, Jay, that I had had a little bit of experience fighting the goons in their own courts as well. And there was a particular instance where I got a speeding ticket, and I went to court and made my case before the judge. And afterwards, he even complimented me and said what a great job I did making my case, but he still found me guilty and charged me a bunch of money. So
He's got a quota too.
Yep. So it just reinforces my idea that we don't live in a society of laws. We live in a gang society, a bunch of warlords, and so
copyright enforcement.
Yeah, and I feel I enjoy it as well when you go to court. It's kind of fun to go in there and jostle with them, but you have to realize, of course, that it's a rigged game.
Yeah, I mean it's a hobby, and don't expect to find it fulfilling every single time. You know, you win some, you lose some, but when you're playing on their turf by their rules, you're probably going to lose more than you win. It's just a guess. But not to say that people don't win.
I have had 2 of them dismissed before I even got to court. I mean, basically, as soon as I said I wanted to challenge it and have a trial, and then I told them, you know, as discovery, I want the training records for the police officer, the calibration records for the radar gun, and all that stuff.
That's exactly the system.
As soon as I said all that, they said, case dismissed, get out of here. You know? They didn't want to deal with it.
If they don't identify you as a troublemaker that needs to be quashed for whatever reason, then they're just like, yeah, if we just drop this case, this guy will go away. In a lot of cases, that will work, and I think that'll drive up your sort of success numbers. It requires some work, but nonetheless, it's probably worth it. I've done similar things. For instance, the parking tickets in Keene, New Hampshire are $5. So if you go into the the parking enforcement and say, I want to take this one to court, they're probably going to drop it because they've got to have the parking enforcer that gave you the ticket now needs to be in court for probably an hour, maybe 2 hours, while y'all sit there and wait for your case to come up, and then the prosecutor, and then God knows who else, and all that stuff. And $5 ticket?
And tying up that ticket writer in court is really good activism by itself. And I will tell you,
as long as we understand that it's activism and not, not some kind of cost-benefit analysis that works.
Probably 10% of the time that I've been in court, the cop was a no-show, and I've helped a lot of people prep for court, write motions, and we sent in all kinds of paperwork and our interrogatories and stuff like that, and I had a friend, she was so upset. She did a lot of role playing, but she was so upset that the cop didn't show up because she really wanted to she wanted to do it. She practiced
won,
it.
But she didn't get to do it. By the way, if you want to learn many of these the tricks of the trade there, go to court.freetalklive.com. That's court.freetalklive.com, and we have
didn't know that was a
course there. Yeah, it is now. As of this week.
Oh, nice.
We the jurisdictionary course, if you're familiar with it, we took it. Both of us, all the hosts of Free Talk Live, took it a few years ago, and Ian really learned a lot and has used many of the tactics. So go there and learn that. It's court.freetalklive.com. Gene?
Yeah, that the one where the judge ruled against me, even though he said I did a good job. I had the police officer on the stand, and I cross-examined him and kind of, showed that he really didn't know what he was doing, regarding how to operate the radar gun and whether it's supposed to be used as primary or secondary, all these things that he's supposed to know and he didn't know. But the judge took his word over mine anyway, and that's,
I had the police officer on the stand admit that he did not know what color my car was. What make the only things he knew about my car was what had been written down on the ticket, and so any information about the car that might have been available, he didn't have it. He did not remember the interaction, and I made it abundantly clear. He made it abundantly clear through his testimony. He didn't know anything about what he had written down. So how can he testify if you don't remember anything? And I moved
because he has a badge.
Yeah, because I moved to throw everything out. And then when the judge said that he was unwilling to throw out the testimony of the officer because the officer didn't remember anything, I said, well, I'd like to, I have another objection, and then that's that there's collusion going on between the judiciary and the executive. The officer being the executive, you being the judiciary. Would you like some evidence for that, Judge? And, he fell for it and said, sure.
I would give him it no matter what.
Right. And I said, that guy has a gun on and was allowed to come in this court, and I was disarmed. So you have treated him differently than you treated me, and now I'm to presume that I'm going to get a fair trial and that my testimony is going to be weighted the same as his. And the judge said, basically ruled, I've known this guy for years, and I believe everything he says. Goodbye, you're guilty. Click.
He just made the collusion case stronger.
Oh, sure he did.
And anytime you go to court, if you actually want to beat it, you need to prepare your court case for appeal.
For the appeal, yeah.
You have to prepare for the appeal because there's always a chance that you might lose it and you want to go to appeal. So preparing for appeals is very important.
Well, in this case, I told him, hey, throw me in jail. I'm not going to pay the fine. And he said, why don't you go to the clerk of courts? They'll work out something with you on the fine. They went over there. They said I could do community service with any not-for-profit. Found a not-for-profit in New Hampshire that was willing to give me community service hours for emceeing at Porkfest. So as the MC for an anarchist festival, I worked off my speeding ticket trial thing.
That's
nice.
That's sweet.
Yeah, yep. Thanks for the call, Gene. Appreciate it.
Yep.
And let's go to David calling in from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, yeah, hypocrisy. In the last election in New Mexico, they had Yvette Harrell, which is a Republican in my congressional district for the U.S. Seat, and she was given the election, and then in the middle of the night, they retracted it and gave it to the Democrat. And there's fairly obvious vote fraud going on. The ballots that showed up in the middle of the night, and some things that after analysis after the fact didn't meet legal scrutiny and such. So anyway, she was on the KKOB radio here today with Brandon Vogt complaining about that the voice of these voters had been silenced and she had lost the election. And during that same call-in telephone show, I, as her constituent, by invitation, call in please and ask Yvette Harrell questions on the Brandon Vogt show on KKOB. I call in, and they won't let me question my own candidate that wants my vote in my district, the candidate that's complaining that she was discriminated against or she was treated,
That
so,
your voice was being silenced because of her discrimination against her, then discriminates against you and silences your voice.
Sounds like voter suppression.
Yeah, it's so they were doing to me exactly what they were complaining was done to them. So hypocrisy, Yvette Harrell, Republican, New Mexico, and
what
Brandon
about this,
Vogt.
Well, I got you. So what about, did this sort of happen when New Mexico did the sort of mail-in ballot thing? Because in New Mexico, you can vote like 6 weeks early. Is that?
Yeah, they got New Mexico. Yes, exactly. There was absentee ballots is what it was won on. In the middle of the night, they discovered a bunch of absentee ballots that had not been counted, and then they were too tired to count them in the middle of the night, and so they didn't count them till the next day, and then they reversed the election, and they broke some law. Yeah?
Oh, I'm just amazed. Thanks for the call, David. 855. Yep. Well, I'm giving you the number. Go to freetalklive.com. By the way, check out our Telegram group. Go to telegram.freetalklive.com, and you can get all the show prep that we're spitting out. Telegram.freetalklive.com.
Bitcoin. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,418. Silver at $15.30, and Bitcoin is trading at $11,209. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news,